The drone appeared at dusk, a faint hum slicing through the quiet of our cattle pasture. It wasn't the first time. For 2 weeks, these mechanical vultures had circled our ranch, and this was the third intrusion. My father, Tom Carver, stepped onto the porch in his bathrobe, boots crunching on the wood, a shotgun slung over his shoulder. "If that thing buzzes my horses again," he growled, "it's going on the barn wall." His voice carried the weight of a man who didn't bluff. Our ranch, sprawled across 200 acres of rolling Wyoming hills, had been in the Carver family for 3 decades, long before the Pine Hills Homeowners Association, HOA, sprouted up a mile away. Their cookie-cutter subdivision arrived with manicured lawns and a hunger for control. The first drone showed up 2 weeks ago, hovering over the windmill and looping around the goat pen like it was casing the place. The second came at dawn, low enough to spook the rooster and trip the motion lights. This third one had the audacity to interrupt Sunday dinner. Mom's garlic roast cooling on the table, her prayer over the cornbread cut short by the buzzing. My little brother, Jake, bolted to the porch, yelling, "Dad, it's back." The whole family stood, eyes locked on a blinking light circling the pasture. Tom didn't speak. He grabbed his belt, slung the shotgun, and stalked into the tall grass like a predator. The drone moved with purpose, not some kid's toy, but a calculated machine. It zoomed toward the stables, too high for rocks, but close enough to rattle the horses. Then came the shotgun's rack, followed by a single warning shot, a crack that echoed through the valley. The drone jolted, retreating toward the eastern hills. We knew it wasn't random. Someone was watching us. The next morning, while I helped Uncle Ray load feed sacks, a white SUV rolled up, kicking dust like it on the road. Out stepped Vincent Reese, the HOA's self-styled compliance officer. Thin as a rail, mirrored sunglasses hiding his eyes, he clutched a clipboard like a shield. "Morning," he said, voice rehearsed. "I'm here about possible violations from a perimeter check." Tom wiped his hands, stepping close. "Perimeter check? Since when does the HOA fly drones?" Vincent's smile was too wide. "Security audit. Standard procedure to ensure compliance." Uncle Ray muttered, "Only audit we signed up for was on paper, not from the sky." "You fly something over my pasture yesterday?" Tom pressed. Vincent blinked. "I can't confirm specifics, but we noted concerns. Unregistered structures, improper fencing, excessive livestock. Our ranch predated their rules, yet Vincent rattled off violations like he'd memorized a script. Animal waste runoff, unapproved fencing, even firewood stacking in non-designated zones." Uncle Ray nearly choked laughing. "Firewood stacking? You spying on our woodpile now?" Vincent didn't flinch. "We take zoning seriously. Cooperation is advised, or you'll face penalties." His tone dared defiance, but Tom just smiled, slow and cold. "Guess we'll keep our wood neat. Anything else?" Vincent backed off, fake politeness oozing as he drove away. "That's the smell of a man who thinks he's smarter than the land," Tom said, watching the dust settle. That night, we set up motion sensors near the tree line where we'd spotted tire tracks, someone parking just outside our fence, close enough to launch a drone. Tom rigged trail cams, an infrared sensor, and a signal meter from his Army days, muttering about hating tech while splicing wires with duct tape. When I asked if it was legal, he said, "If they can spy on my horses, I can build a scarecrow with teeth." Mom, Clara, wasn't thrilled. She hated conflict, but even she admitted things were getting creepy when, at midnight, the hum returned, closer, slower. Tom grabbed thermal binoculars, spotting the drone low over the hills. He didn't hesitate. Stepping onto the porch, he fired the air rifle, not the shotgun. A sharp crack split the night, and the buzzing stopped. A distant thump followed, something heavy hitting dirt. At dawn, we found it, a mangled drone in the pasture, wings twisted, lens cracked, one propeller snagged with horsehair. It wasn't a toy. GPS antennas, night vision sensors, a camera worth more than our tractor. Tom turned it over like a hunter inspecting a kill, pulling out the SD card. "We're going to see what this thing saw," he said. Inside, Uncle Ray sipped coffee, watching cattle auctions on TV. When he saw the drone, he whistled. "Well, look at that. Should we boil it or skin it?" Tom ignored him, plugging the SD card into his laptop. Video files popped up, time-stamped. The footage showed the drone launching from the woods, zipping over our sheds, hovering above grain bins, zooming in on fences. One clip caught Tom fixing the chicken coop in his undershirt. Another showed Clara heading to the mailbox. But the worst was 5 minutes of my sister, Lily, barrel racing in the arena, her name clear on the saddle blanket. The drone tracked her like a stalker. Nobody spoke. Tom's jaw tightened. This guy's not checking violations. He's building a case, or worse. Uncle Ray leaned in. We need to burn that footage. Tom shook his head. No, destroy it. And it's our word against his. Play it right. And this is his last flight. We traced the launch site using trail cam footage. A figure in a windbreaker, moving sneaky with a controller, near an SUV parked by a stump. Tom kicked the stump, grinning. He likes this spot. Let's give him something to see. That afternoon, we built a decoy. Rusted barrels in a triangle, a spray-painted sign reading Private Pipeline Project, Permit Pending, fake wires, and caution tape. From the air, it screamed illegal. Tom buried a military signal jammer by the bluff, legal on our land to block unauthorized signals. That night, Tom sat on the porch, eyes on the horizon. Uncle Ray had binoculars and iced tea. I watched camera feeds on a tablet. Right after dusk, the SUV returned. A drone rose, its camera locking onto our fake project. Tom hit the jammer switch. The drone wobbled, jerked, then nosedived into the wheat. Vincent's shout echoed, followed by stomping as he ran toward the wreck. Tom flipped on a spotlight, freezing Vincent mid-sprint. He flinched, then slunk into the shadows. Tom let him go. In the morning, we retrieved the drone, newer, slicker, still recording audio. Vincent's voice crackled. Get closer. Show me something I can use. Stupid rednecks, always hiding something. His venom wasn't just HOA business. It was personal. Tom closed the laptop. Tom called Sheriff Dan. Sheriff Dan Malone, Tom's high school buddy, was no nonsense. He'd long suspected Vincent's HOA schemes. We showed him the footage, audio, and crash sites. Dan nodded, jotting notes. He's violated drone laws, conducted illegal surveillance, trespassed remotely, and that's before we get to harassment. Uncle Ray grinned. We setting a trap? Dan smirked. We're letting him hang himself. That evening, we placed the broken drone by the fence with an orange sticker, property of HOA. Please return. We flickered the porch light to seem empty and waited. After sunset, Vincent's SUV crept in. He stepped out, flashlight in hand, and approached the wreck. He didn't see Dan's cruiser 2 fields away or the deputies closing in. As Vincent grabbed the drone, muttering about salvaging data, Dan's spotlight blazed. Freeze, he barked. Hands up. Vincent stood, drone dangling, mouth agape. Deputies cuffed him as Dan listed charges: trespassing, evidence tampering, illegal drone operation. Vincent stammered about HOA business, but Dan cut him off. You're no cop. You filmed a minor on private land. You're done. Tom slow clapped, holding the drone like a trophy. You dropped something, Vince? At the sheriff's office, the truth unraveled. Vincent worked with an out-of-county developer, targeting ranches with fake violations to force cheap sales. He'd faked complaint reports, edited drone footage, and pressured families. 2 ranches had sold under market value. Our refusal made us a target. The next morning, Dan called an emergency HOA meeting. Tom wore his best boots, carrying the broken drone. The hall was packed, board members sweating. Dan laid out Vincent's crimes: illegal surveillance, coercion, fraud. Tom held up the drone. This is your compliance. No paperwork, just propellers and an agenda. My daughter was filmed. My land, ours before your HOA, was treated like a game. The room went silent. Neighbors nodded, revealing Vincent had spied on their properties too. The board chair resigned, followed by 3 others. The HOA rewrote its bylaws, banning drones without owner consent. Vincent's SUV was auctioned, his drones confiscated, his reputation dust. At the ranch, peace returned. No buzzing, no clipboards. Tom mounted the drone on the barn wall beside his army boots, a plaque reading, "Flight ended by bad choices." Uncle Ray stared at it. Think he'll try again? Tom laughed. Only if he wants to be mounted twice. That night, we grilled steaks, sat on the porch, and savored the quiet. Justice wasn't loud. It was the absence of drones, the freedom to sleep without eyes in the sky. What do you think? Was Tom justified in shooting down the drone? Or did he escalate too far? Should Vincent's punishment be harsher? Or was justice served? Share your thoughts in the comments, especially on violence and injustice in everyday life. Take a stand, and let's hear your perspective.